Good evening, pipe smokers. Prairie Piper here on not a Monday, it's a Wednesday night. And it's funny because I keep saying that I traditionally made videos on the weekends, and I think the last 2 or 3 weeks I've been saying, yeah, we'll try to get back to the weekend videos, reviews, and that never happens. I did make a video on Sunday. I was ready to go, but I didn't like it. And I didn't have time to make another video until tonight. And the reason I didn't like it, I smoked a brisket on Saturday and had family over. And I don't normally smoke my pipe when I'm socializing. My dad smokes cigars, so do my nephews. So we all smoke cigars. And so I was smoking Toscanos all night and pretty much torched the shit out of my palate. So Sunday when I got it to do the review, it just wasn't happening. I recorded it, and I honestly couldn't taste very much because I just tore the shit out of the palate. That's what I mean. The Toscanos, and I'm going to do a review on Toscano cigars, which I absolutely love. That's coming up probably in the fall. But if you've ever smoked a Toscano, they're heavy cigars, and I smoked like probably 2 or 3 of them. So yeah. I don't recommend doing that if you want to enjoy your pipe the next day. So I needed a couple of days to sort of rejuvenate the palate, my tongue. So that's tonight. So what are we reviewing? We're continuing with our Pure Virginias. This is going to be number 7, and on the weekend will be number 8, if I get to it. But the next, tonight, here we are. Pure Virginia by the now defunct Mac Baren. I'm always kind of on the fence about doing tobaccos that are no longer available. But this is one that I felt needed to be reviewed in our straight Virginia journey here because it's a classic. To me, it's a solid smoke. It is readily available too. A lot of pipe smokers have stocked up on this. I didn't. I kind of went the route of the dark fired in Bold, Kentucky, so I do have that cellared. I had this a couple years ago and thoroughly enjoyed it. But when I smoked it on the Sunday and I made the initial video, I was kind of on the fence, which is why I didn't post the video. I'm like, because I've been doing so many straight Virginias, and when I smoked this initially 2 years ago, I hadn't smoked a lot of Virginia. So was I inexperienced 2 years ago and just thought it was amazing then? And now having smoked so many other Virginias, the last 6 or 7, the last couple of months, has this kind of shifted in my view of straight Virginias? Or was it just because, like I said, my palate was torched? So I deleted the video. I'm like, I got it. Prairie Piper, I want objective videos. Not just for myself, but for you guys too. So that's why there was no video on the weekend, and I waited a few days until my palate settled down. So I'm very interested to see now my opinion of this, because it was 2 years ago and I thought it was great. When I fired it up and did the review on Sunday, I didn't know if it was because of my palate or because this wasn't as good as I remember it. So let's find out. I should mention, this is 5 years of age. And initially when I had it 2, maybe 3 years ago, it was a fresher tin. So that might make a difference. Pipe Currency said, I watched this video last night, he's right when 2 to 5 years is probably pretty good age for most tobaccos, but some are made to age and they just taste better and better and better and better with age. I'm not sure this is one of them, but we'll get into the review, we'll smoke it, and I'll let you know what I think. So this has been jarred for 5 years now, and the smell, it's earthy, it's bready, it's raisiny. There's not a lot of citrus in this, like whether it's limes or lemons, or grapefruit. I don't get that. It's earthy, and it's sweet, and it smells like raisins. Probably say raisin bread. Not overly complex, but a very nice, pleasant smell. Almost kind of like a bit of a, I don't want to say syrup because syrup is sweet, but kind of maybe raisin maple maybe. I'll show you, I've rubbed some out here and I've got the flakes. So I'll give you a shot of that. And I'm gonna take this off. So let's get a shot. Now these are significantly darker than they would normally be in a fresh tin. So I turned one on its side. You can see how dark that is. I mean, it's dark. And then you can see the flakes on the right and another stack on the left. Gorgeous looking flakes and very, very, very dark. And here's what I've rubbed out. Again, so when I had this 2 or 3 years ago, I was under the impression, from what I remember, that it was lemons. And I thought they were when I smoked this, I thought, okay, there's lemons in here, and I'm thinking there's a lot more bright Virginias in here than like brown Virginias or maybe even red Virginias. But again, when I smoked it on Sunday, I didn't get that. So I'm very interested to light this up. Like I said, though, Sunday, I didn't really feel like it was a fair review because my palate was torched. So I'm really, really interested tonight to see what I get out of this. So I'll pack a bowl and we'll head out to the garage and see what we're tasting, because I'm very curious myself about this. We'll see you in a minute. Here we're back in the garage. We'll fire this up, see what we get. So this is a straight Virginia. Flue cured, let's say here, flue cured and air dried. It's part of the HH series, which was, you know, as natural as Baren could get it. Maybe a very, very light casing, but that's it. This was a really good line. It's a shame that it's not around anymore. So I don't know if you would have asked me before this review what I thought was in here from my, you know, not from an aged tin. When I had this 2 or 3 years ago, it was not aged. I would have said bright Virginias all the way. Because it was lemons. I don't get that anymore. I mean, the lemons are still there, but they're a lot more subdued. When I made this review on Sunday initially, this video, before I deleted it, it took a while to get going on Sunday too. And I don't know why. It was fine once I got it lit, but it took a few matches like it is now. I don't know why. So one more. There we go. So I am getting the lemons. Very nice. Not necessarily like citrusy lemons or oranges. Like, I guess I'm saying not like a tart lemon, just a straight, smooth lemon flavor. It's pleasant. Very nice. If I had to guess what was in here, definitely bright Virginias. I think there's brown Virginias in here too. There could be reds, and if there is, they're kind of toned down reds. I wouldn't necessarily, because there is a slight tang to this and the sort of the aftertaste with a retrohale. If you take small sips, you kind of just get this light, smooth lemon flavor. You take a bigger draw, it gets a little bit stronger and slightly spicier and slightly tangy, but not like Carolina Red Flake tang. you know, or another like stronger, tangy kind of red. I don't think there's a lot of red Virginia in here. If I had to guess, from a 5-year tin, this is aged, so things may have calmed down. I'm kind of thinking brown Virginias, bright Virginias, a touch of red. It's pleasant. If you take small sips, it's kind of light to medium. But there is a bit more strength. And when I refer to strength, it's always flavor, not nick hit. When I take a bigger puff, I do get a bit of a fuller, richer taste. But I'm not necessarily, but I wouldn't classify this as like a full, rich blend. It's not. It's good. Very pleasant. I'm on the fence though, to be honest with you, at this point, having smoked it, you know, reviewed it already. I said in the review that I never posted that I was actually shocked, kind of surprised that I didn't actually rate this one that much anymore. It's a quality smoke. It's a nice smoke, but I didn't rate it. And I was like, oh, it must have been those fucking Toscanos the night before. That's what happens when you smoke 3 or 4 of them. You know, on top of, you know, a few glasses of wine and smoked brisket. So I figured that had to be the fact I just trashed the palate the night before. But I'll tell you, like, it's not. I remember when I smoked this fresh, like I said, it was 2, maybe 3 years ago. I was super impressed with it, but I didn't have a lot of experience with Virginias at that time. So my first instincts may not have been incorrect on Sunday. But I'm going to pause this. I don't want to just keep blabbing. I'm going to pause this, and I think we can probably give you my final thoughts on this. Again, since this is kind of technically a second review, first one that will be posted. So we'll check back in a sec here. Well, in a few minutes. This is a very interesting blend, and I felt this when I did the review on Sunday too. It's a bit of an inconsistent blend now. Now that I look back on Sunday, I've been smoking it for a while. Again, kind of my initial thoughts on this that I thought were my messed up palate, and I'm sure I was not tasting it to its full effect. But my gut feeling about this, I think, is confirmed. It's an inconsistent blend to me, and what I mean by that is, there's geese. I don't know if you can hear that or not. And I say inconsistent. So what's happening here is the first initial, you know, few minutes are different than the mid bowl and the bottom bowl. Now, to some degree, you get that with a lot of smokes. But what I'm saying here is it's not, you know, most tobaccos kind of start off zesty, tangy, heavy, whatever, depending on what it is that you're smoking, what tobacco it is, what blend. And they always kind of start to kind of subdue and change toward the middle, and they start to kind of lose flavor typically towards the bottom of the bowl, especially big bowls that I smoke. That's all normal, but they usually still have kind of a consistency in flavor. This one, oh, hold on here. Sorry about that. Wife came back with the dog, so I just paused it. Where was I? I think I was talking about the consistency. This one is not consistent from top to bottom. Like the flavor profile actually changes. And I'm not saying that that's a good thing. It starts off with that kind of straightforward, soft lemon flavor. And if you take a bigger puff, it gets a bit stronger. And if you take smaller sips, you can get more of that smooth lemon, not a tart lemon, just a smooth lemon flavor. But halfway down the bowl, the lemon flavor starts to really kind of dissipate and fade into the back for me. And it gets a little rougher. Now, I don't mind rough because I like most of my tobaccos on the rougher side. but it's the change in flavor. It goes from smooth, light lemon flavor that kind of dissipates into an edgier, rougher, rustic kind of tobacco taste. Which is kind of tangy, but almost just kind of like an earthy, you lose that sweetness and it just goes to kind of like a rustic, earthy tobacco taste, which I don't necessarily mind either, but you can tell that the tobacco is changing its character as it's being smoked. And I don't think that's not what I want in a blend, and I don't think it's representative of a good blend. And I'm actually quite surprised to hear myself say that, because I am a big fan of the HH series. But I guess having smoked, this is the 7th straight Virginia I've smoked in the last couple of months. We'll do number 8 on the weekend or in the near future. This, to me, the Pure Virginia is with 5 years of age on it, it's not holding its ground. I almost feel like it's with 5 years of age on it. I know normally you think, well, it's a Virginia, they do age well, but not every tobacco ages well. And I almost feel like at 5 years, it's kind of lost its legs a bit. You know, it doesn't have any structural integrity. You know, like the smoke at the beginning should not be different than the middle and the end. That shouldn't be happening. Flavors are going to evolve over the smoke. But I just feel like this one, it's just not holding around. Be interested to see what others out there, you guys ever smoked this, think about it. Like, has this just kind of collapsed and gotten too light and airy and nondescript over time? 5 years? Are the younger tins a little bit fuller and richer? I know you typically wouldn't think that with a Virginia, but like my memories of this 2 to 3 years ago were not what it's become. Kind of disappointed, to be honest with you. It's still a pleasant smoke. It's good quality tobacco. And now that I'm down at the quarter of the bowl, it's weird. These lemon flavors are kind of, the soft lemons coming back again. Really weird. I guess my problem with this blend is it's not consistent. That's my problem with it. It's good tobacco. It's quality tobacco, you know that. Limited casing, 0 topping. But I wonder I just wonder if they didn't just put enough, it's missing structure. It just doesn't. It's probably worth trying out. You know, again, I mean, you know, I'm not, you know, we're not all going to agree, you know, on the, you know, that we all love the same tobaccos, but I'd be interested, you know, I think this is definitely a blend. I'm not sure, I mean, even if I could buy this again, I'm not sure I would. But I don't want to scare anybody away from I would still recommend going out and trying to get a tin. I wouldn't say, don't pay an arm and a leg for it, but probably there's going to be, you know, some pipe smokers out there that probably love this. So for that, I'm saying go and explore it. But I don't think this one's for me. Okay, that's about it. Stay tuned. We're going to do another Virginia, and I think that's going to be another straight Virginia. I think that'll be number 8, and we're going to stop shortly there. And then I think what I'll do is I'll kind of we'll go back and sort of review all these, and I'll give you like kind of like what I thought were sort of the best 3 or 4 out of the 8 that we've smoked, and give you my recommendation on what I thought were the best ones out of the ones we smoked to go out and get. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day and your week. Prairie Piper out.